If we operate with extreme urgency, then we have a chance of making life multiplanetary. Still just a chance, not for sure. If we don't act with extreme urgency, that chance is probably zero. And the rate of innovation is not going to be constant. It's either going to increase the rate of innovation, or it's going to slow down. If you look at American access to space with Crew, we were able to go to the moon in '69. Then with the space shuttle, we could only go to low Earth orbit. And the space shuttle retired. And then for almost a decade, there was no America had no access to space for its people. So this is a pretty bad trend. It's trending to zero. Right. We need a very strong trend in the other direction in order to have any chance whatsoever of making life multiplanetary. Yep. So that's the reason for the extreme sense of urgency.
build the technologies necessary to make life multiplanetary. To answer more seriously, if you consider the nature of importance itself and say, how do you tell that anything is important? Well, the lens of history is a helpful guide here. And the more you zoom out, the more you can distinguish the things that are important over a great span of time, the truly important things, versus things that may seem important in the moment but are forgotten once that moment has passed.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining me this special edition, early Sunday morning edition of Steven Steele Live. Guess what? I'm Steven Steele. Good to see you guys. We got a few new names in the chat, some members as well, and some folks from across the pond. And that's one of the advantages when I told you I was going to start throwing in a couple morning shows every week. Probably about one or two morning shows a week, so people in different time zones can access the show live more easily, and just kind of switch it up. And it's just it's just a different vibe, baby. It's just a different vibe on the mornings. But great to see each and every one of you guys. I got a good show lined up for you tonight. Some really interesting stuff to go over, and let's see what's going on in the chat. We've got. Jay Layfield, welcome Jay Layfield. Sliding Edge, of course. John Deere, Larry Ramirez, Ryan Taylor, Doodle Doo, Triple Distilled, good morning. Zordan, good morning Zordan. Josh Rendell disavows, of course. And Casafras Nova, good morning. And I'm sure more people will trickle in as the show proceeds. If you haven't already, if you could just smash that like button, takes a split second of your time, doesn't cost you a dime. Number one thing you can do to help the channel out and reach more people through those tricky algorithms. Also, if you're not already subscribed and you're new here, I'd like to welcome you to the community. We've got an awesome one. Honestly, we've got the best little community in all of crypto-centric content, honestly. And we'd love to have you be a part of it. So it's free. Just hit subscribe, hit all that notification bell, and ascend with us to the moon, Mars, and beyond. Lastly, if you feel compelled to super chat anyway throughout the duration of this broadcast, that's immensely appreciated for all the time and efforts put in, and it helps keep the lights on over here in this one-bedroom apartment. Chad, what's going on? What's up, Mr. Steele? Are we going to the moon? Yes, Mr. Wathen, we are going to the moon. As I often say, it's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. Someone else asked me a question. Jeff asks, hey, Steven, thanks for all you do. Hope you have a great Sunday. Thank you for that. Really appreciate that. And likewise, too, Jeff. On Reddit, there have been talks of a short squeeze for Doge. What do you think? It depends. You got to really think about it. In what capacity is it really going to move a market? Doge right now is hovering somewhere around $35 billion. So anytime we hear talks online about short squeezes and things like this, particularly that are forming online, I don't take it too seriously. I mean, the amount of money that it would take to make any sort of significant movement in that market is going to be quite significant. Now, when people talk about these sorts of things, organizing these sorts of things online anyway, this can be very applicable to coins with much smaller market caps and coins that are much easier to manipulate in that regard. So when people discuss these things on Reddit or forum boards that they're planning anyway, now if they're talking about a short squeeze in terms of they're predicting one coming in from large whales, that's another matter entirely. That's always a possibility. But if people are talking about some level of coordination there online with that, particularly over cryptocurrency with as large of a market cap as Dogecoin, I really don't take that kind of talk too seriously. Hope that's helpful for you. I think I got caught up. What's up? Hey, what's going on? Smash that like button. Smash that like button like you'd smash your first childhood celebrity crush. Who was your first childhood celebrity crush, guys? Mine was Kelly Bundy. That character Kelly Bundy, played by Christina Applegate. That was my first childhood celebrity crush. I think around the same time it was Alyssa Milano while she was on Who's the Boss. Now, keep in mind, I was like 12 years old at the time or something like that. So, and then it just, it just went from there. Doodle Doo says Steven deserves 1,000 likes. Come on. I think everyone's doing their part for the most part. We got about 30 folks in here right now, about 26 likes, so I'm happy. Salah Hayek's actually a very good pick. Actually, my first girlfriend ever was Latina. Her name was Christina Gonzalez. She dressed a lot like a fly girl off of In Living Color, and she had a hair wall. You guys remember the hair wall? It took about a half bottle of hairspray to put up every day like this. And she was also very much into the boy bands of the time, and I was into like Depeche Mode and The Cure and stuff like that. We were a curious but pleasant mix. It was cool. Kimberly the Pink Ranger, Zordan says. Of course Zordan's going to say that. Selena Gomez is a goddess. She's a lovely girl. Josh Rendell disavows coming in with $20. Make me holler. I love it. Thank you so much for that. Put a little pep in my step on this Sunday morning. Thank you for kicking things off right and out of sight. Much appreciated, Josh Randell. Here's 2 overpriced Starbucks coffees on me, bro. Appreciate it. Fist bump right back at you, sir. Appreciate that so much. If you don't mind, I am going to save my money on those overpriced Starbucks, and I think I'll put it towards my electricity bill. So thank you, Josh. Appreciate you, man. Do you think Elon will sell his Tesla stock? Well, that's the million-dollar question. This is the lead-off story, isn't it, guys? This is what we've got to ask ourselves. So for those of you who don't know, Elon Musk, let me pull up his Twitter here because that's where it started. And I believe the Twitter poll is still going here. Just give me a moment. Pulling that up. And Elon Musk asked just yesterday, he put out a poll that says this: much has been made lately of unrealized gains being means of tax avoidance. So I propose selling 10% of my Tesla stock. Do you support this? 57.1% voting yes, 43% voting no. So, you know, it is a clear consensus towards yes, but I wouldn't call that a blowout. That's not a blowout. A blowout would be like 70-30, 80-20. The kind of margins that we saw when when Elon Musk formed that Twitter poll, should Tesla accept Dogecoin, and it was like 80-20 yes. This is more like a 57-43 split, right? So what do we make of this? You know, people have different interpretations of what he was getting at, first and foremost, and I think that's one reason behind the split vote. To me, when I read a poll question like this, the first thing that pops out to me is his wording right out of the gate. Elon says, much has been made lately of unrealized gains being a means of tax avoidance. So this is, to me, clearly a swipe at some recent chatter within the current administration about throwing around ideas of taxation on unrealized gains in stocks and crypto and investments for the richest among us. And, you know, not that I'm against a certain degree of a progressive taxation on the richest among us, but the fact that they want to do it to unrealized gains, which is essentially just predicting what they think that they will make on these sorts of investments over the course of the coming year or whatnot, to me just strikes me as rather insane and kind of a disturbing trajectory there that would eventually more than likely get passed down to the rest of us. So I think that's what I'm reading into it there. But yes, okay, look, I do think that Elon is going to sell off 10% of his Elon stock. That he's going to sell 10% off of his Tesla stock. I do think that's going to happen. I think it's going to happen as soon as Monday or perhaps Tuesday. If I had to put money on it, I would say Tuesday is likely going to be day to do it. I don't think that he's going to want to ease his way into that stock market week. Sliding Edge coming in with a $5 make you holler. Don't forget your bagel and cream cheese. Thank you, Sliding Edge. Sliding Edge, I'm willing to wager that you're the type of man that was up partying all night and you are still up into the next day over there on that West Coast. Aren't you a California guy? I think so. I think that's what I recall. But thank you so much. Do they remember Einstein Bagels? Do you guys have Einstein Bagels? I know that was a very popular chain years ago in the Midwest. I believe they still have them around, but they're not as popular as, you know, unrefined carbs became less popular over time. Though I will say, if it's doused in a deep fryer in sugar, unrefined carbs are more popular than ever. We look at the tremendous rebrand and ascendance of Dunkin' Donuts as the most prominent example I can think of to just point to that. I mean, that is incredible what they were able to do. I mean, Dunkin' Donuts is more popular than ever. You can't step, 5 feet in any direction, whether in rural areas or in city areas, without running into a Dunkin' Donuts. My gosh. Now, I love donuts, but I'm trying to trim down. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm down with the dad bod at my age, but it's getting a little. I'm moving from dad bod to chunky monkey, so we need to pull it a little back and get more into dad bod mode. Now, that being said, I'm not okay. I like donuts, but I'm very particular about what donuts I like. I can't just eat any donut. I like the French cruller. The ones that look like those little pinwheels, they're very light. You know what I'm talking about? They're very light and kind of flaky. Now, when I used to spend a lot of time in Los Angeles, they used to have these things called cronuts. Oh my gosh, cronuts. Who here has had a cronut? Anybody that's in the LA area knows exactly what I'm talking about right now. So cronuts are a croissant donut. So they're shaped like a donut and they're deep fried like a donut, but they've got thin layers of dough like that. They're comprised of a bunch of thin layers of dough like a flaky croissant. It almost tastes like a combination of a great croissant, baklava, and a donut all in one. I guess that's how I describe it. And man, are those out of this world, out of this world. Jay Layfield says, Stephen, create Donut Coin. I feel like that's probably already been created. I feel like Donut Coin has already been done. If I were to create a coin, it'd probably just be something for, charity or something. I don't know. I don't want the headache. I don't want the insane headache of creating a coin. It seems way too stressful. Let's see. Yeah. Cronuts are incredible, you guys. Cronuts are incredible. So, you guys, I do think that Elon is going to pivot towards selling off his Tesla stock. I think it's more than likely going to happen Tuesday. I don't think he wants to I think he wants to mitigate the shock that it's going to send through the system by not doing it on Monday. That being said, those of you who are invested in Tesla, or even more importantly at this point, those of you who are looking to invest in Tesla, early to midday Monday might be your pivot point, might be the great entry point, because I think that, here's the thing, you guys. When it comes to cryptocurrency, major events, what really affects the markets the most, in regards to incoming major events, is the precipitation going into it. The precipitation of that going into it, the pre-hype in one way or another. So it doesn't really hit as much when it's actually happening or actually right after it's happened, but the anticipation of it is where you see the most seismic shifts in markets. So I'm predicting right now that it's going to be the highest probability scenario is Elon Musk is going to dump 10% of his Tesla stock towards the end of tomorrow, towards the end of the stock close, or more than likely Tuesday. Now, look for Tesla to take a big dip tomorrow, folks. Look for Tesla to take a big dip starting early tomorrow. If you've been thinking about buying Tesla stock, but you've been looking for a right entry point because you didn't want to buy at the top, which is perfectly understandable. Who does? Tomorrow morning might be your window of opportunity. Tomorrow morning to midday, okay? And I think that anticipation of Elon selling 10% of his Tesla stock is going to have a bigger impact on the market value of Tesla than actually Elon selling his 10%. Okay, so let me say that again. I think just the anticipation of Elon selling off 10% of his Tesla stock is going to have a more significant impact on that market value than the actual act of Elon selling 10% of his Tesla stock. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Steven, it is confirmed that there's a donut coin. I knew there was. Priced at 0.0865659 as of September 21st. Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate that. Appreciate the footwork there, my friend. SlideNet says, donuts, how about Doge nuts? Now there is an opportunity for someone to make a small business Doge nuts. It's pretty funny for a couple of obvious reasons. Doge nuts. check out Doge Nuts, right? I can see the merchandise already. I feel like Doge Nuts would be a really great small like drive-through donut business for like LA or San Diego, probably even San Diego. Put some Doge Nuts in San Diego. Watch it go wild. Pre-market is what, 18 hours from now. I wonder how Tesla will do pre-market. Like I said, I think the biggest impact that we are going to see on the Tesla stock dip is, I think the biggest dip is going to come market opening on Monday morning. Look between there and midday. If you've been waiting, kind of sitting on the fence, waiting to pick up more Tesla or get your first entry position into Tesla, that might be your window of opportunity. But could Elon sell off his Tesla stock on Monday morning? It's certainly possible, but I don't think that's the more likely scenario. I think Tuesday is the more likely scenario. And Monday is just going to, let the market do its thing. I don't think this is going to significantly impact and depreciate the value of Tesla long term. Might not even do it very long short term. I think a lot of people are going to be buying that dip. I think there's a lot of people that have been waiting to buy the dip on the next significant Tesla dip. So it wouldn't surprise me if that dip didn't even last too long, you guys. So just keep an eye out. Daniel, good morning. Good to see you. Good to see more names coming in here. Good to see some familiar names and some new ones as well. Guys, if you're new here, you're watching Steven Steele Live. I am Steven Steele. I mostly do live streams. I took a few days off due to illness, frankly, but we're getting back on the good foot, getting back on the airwaves, and getting down to it, boppers. And don't worry, I am working out a rescheduling with my friend and Dogecoin developer, contributor, Ross Nickel. He and I have been going back and forth. We are going to work it out. I'm also working on getting, I want to get Gary Lachance back in. And he's a member of the Dogecoin Foundation. Great guy, fun guy, awesome style. He kind of dresses like he's in a Mad Max movie. Big shoulder pads, huge sunglasses. Love that guy. Julia Love, we should get Julia Love back on with him maybe. We'll see how it goes. But I've actually been working on bringing in a lot of guest appearances, guys. 2022, Steven Steele Live is going to be stepped up significantly. We are going to step things up. I'm going to be bringing you guys a lot of great guests, a lot of exciting stuff coming down. Lots to look forward to. Right now, we're looking at Ethereum. Look at the Ethereum, man. Just been coasting, doing so nicely. Setting in comfortably over 4,600. Just insane. It's easy, and I found myself for a little bit getting kind of swept away in the NFT world and I probably went a little bit further in my NFT investments than I should have. Hindsight's always 20/20. Don't get me wrong. There's NFT investments that I have that I'm super excited about. Most notably, Dogex and a couple others, but I think I overextended myself, and I'm saying this to kind of give you, maybe pass off my learning lesson to you guys, is because I kept shopping for the next blue chip and researching, and don't be wrong, I got really good at finding markers and identifiers for these things, but then I caught myself, I'm like, my return on investment on this, if I keep going, is going to be significantly less than if I were just to hold my Ethereum. Now we're at 4,600 on Ethereum. Look how far it's come in just the last couple months. I do think, and all the major projections that I've been looking at and technical analysis that I trust that I've been looking at is showing Ethereum coming in at 10,000 in the very near future. I think it's totally within the realm of possibility for that to happen sooner than later, frankly. We need Batman on here. You'll have to talk to Batman. Batman's a good friend of mine, Crypto Batman, but he has an open invite. It's up to him when he wants to accept it. Just noticed that there is an ass emoji. Oh yeah. Made that a bit ago. Yes. Always chasing Doge and loving that caboose. Yes. I two things I'm passionate about in this world. Jeff says, who else is excited for Dogecoin Core Wallet 1.14.5? Yeah, I'm excited about it. I'm stoked. If you're running a node, don't forget to update it, folks. Don't forget to update it. And this is, I think these upgrades are awesome, and I can't wait. I can't wait for all that to come together. I can't wait for the Doge Ethereum bridge to come into reality in early 2022. Ethereum 2.0, I'm really looking forward to. Obviously, I'm looking forward to something that's going to bring down those gas fees like everyone. And so once all this stuff gets fine-tuned, I still contend that eventually, that Ethereum is going to flip Bitcoin for the #1 spot. I don't think it's going to happen overnight. I don't think it's going to happen in the near future, but I do think it's eventual decent probability. Steven, do you watch Major League Soccer? If so, since you're in the LA area or LA Galaxy. Now, I'm very familiar with the LA Galaxy. I haven't watched soccer in quite some time. I have a few friends that are super into it. I have some British friends that are super into it. And I just haven't had the time to follow it for a few seasons. Doge is going up. When do you think the next Doge update is? Well, we just kind of got to it. So, I think it's going to be much longer at all. I can't tell you. I wish I could tell you more than that. But I don't. I think it's a near future thing. So let's take a look at Doge here. Doge is up about almost 1% over the last hour. We'll continue to monitor it. For now, I'm going to leave the Ethereum chart on the screen until we see a little bit more seismic movement in Dogecoin. If Dogecoin get over that resistance into 27, going into 28 cents, that will be great. But over the last 24-hour cycle, Doge has been on the bullish side. It's been trading at about a 3.5% increase. I love it. We love it, guys. We love it. So that is what we like to see. So probably the most bullish movement we've seen out of Dogecoin in the last 24 hours has happened in the last 24 hours, and it has happened all week. It's been trading pretty unremarkably sideways, accumulating. We'll just see where it goes. Have you looked into Pulse Chain yet? It's the first fork of ETH. Yes, I have looked into Pulse Chain. Looks all fine and good to me. I only have so much capital to invest, and like I said, just because I'm not invested in something doesn't mean I don't like it. Many times it means I just don't have the capital to put in everything. You just got to pick your battles. Let's see here. San Jose earthquakes, baby. Earthquakes in San Jose. Do you know the way to San Jose? That's Dionne Warwick, right? I love that song. Do you know the way to San Jose? Do you know the way? Speaking of the way, now, those of you who watch me frequently, how often did I point out Avalanche? How many times was I sounding the alarm? Was I ringing that dinner bell for AVAX? Folks, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and genitals, I told you guys about this for 2 weeks straight. I said AVAX is likely going to be one of your safest bets on making gains that are going to go 2 to 3x within the next couple months. It started, it's underway now. Avalanche up over 14% now over the last 24 hours. It's retracing about 1.5% over the last hour, but that's a healthy retracement. And it's up trading at $83.75 right now. And folks, over the course of the last week, Avalanche is up over 38%, nearing in on 40% increase just over the last 7 days. So up until this last week, Avalanche had been trading sideways and accumulating for a little while. Nothing very remarkable, but I said look to the top more obvious altcoins. And what I meant by that, not Ethereum, but lower down the tier than that, I said AVAX, Engine Coin, and Solana. I said look for pretty immediate increases after the initial bull run kicks off with those three. But I said particularly Avalanche. Keep an eye on Avalanche. I think there's a lot of room yet to go in Avalanche. I think there's a lot of expansion yet to happen there over the next 2 months or so with Avalanche and Solana. Even if you haven't entered in Solana yet, I think it's reasonable. I think it's very reasonable to expect Solana to get in that top 5, guys, and bump something else down. Look, as long as these gas prices with Ethereum aren't handled, aren't sorted, Ethereum and Solana particularly are going to keep capitalizing on that, keep rising in popularity and market value, and they're going to keep ascending, folks. Now, the good thing is, from my point of view, I think there's plenty of room in the market for all three of these to thrive in exceptional manner: Ethereum, Avalanche, and Solana. So even after Avalanche, even after Ethereum gets things more streamlined, gets those gas prices down, I think those other two are still going to be hanging out and doing just fine. But right now is the window, folks, until that happens, that Solana and AVAX are going to keep running up. Jeff Layfield got to roll out today. Steven, thank you again for what you do. Enjoy your Sunday. Everyone, run your friggin' node. Jeff Layfield says, I'm running mine, my friend. Thank you for that, Jeff. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you on the flip. William Hatfield, do you think ADA is still a good buy? Folks, I've never been incredibly bullish on ADA. Not a lot of action there, right? Not a lot of action. I think still really long term, it's going to make gains. It's just a matter if they're going to be modest or exceptional. Nick's been a lot more bullish on ADA than I have. I've never said that it's a bad investment. I've never felt that way. I've just always struggled with a couple things. I haven't seen enough to show that ADA is going to bring in really big returns, really big margins there. I've always been under the impression that ADA is a solid, safe, long-term investment for marginal, modest gains. That's my feeling on it. And I do think, in regards to the NFT space, I think Solana and AVAX are going to eat up most of that market share over whatever ADA is trying to do there. It's just how I feel. Stephen, what do you think? Will Doge Ethereum Bridge? What exactly will Doge Ethereum Bridge do when it comes out with the latest version? For all I know is that the Doge Ethereum Bridge is going to streamline Dogecoin to be faster in transaction speeds and cheaper in transaction fees. So those are the two main things that it is going to keep fine-tuning and improve on. And those, frankly, need to be the two main objectives to ensure that Dogecoin becomes one of the most popular transacted digital currencies on the planet. And I think Dogecoin is very well poised and positioned to be the quintessential cryptocurrency on the planet in a retail space. People that haven't really followed a lot of the dynamics surrounding Dogecoin, a lot of the work being done behind the scenes regarding Dogecoin, might think this sounds silly, but for those of us who have been dialed in on the day-to-day, the day-to-day progress on Dogecoin, understand this. Understand that a lot of work and a lot of years' work, frankly, has been poured into Dogecoin to optimize it to be possibly the number one quintessential cryptocurrency in the retail space. I personally believe that Dogecoin is going to be that, and that's my perspective on it. Wait, so Steven is not a vampire. I switch it up sometimes. And sometimes I straight up sleep during the day. Sometimes I won't even go to bed till the next day, and I'll sleep during the day. I'll get up and do it again. Other times I'll fall asleep actually at night, and I'll wake up late morning and do it that way. It's kind of a toggling back and forth. But one thing's for certain, I'm an unconventional guy with an unconventional schedule. That much I can tell you. Josh Randell says, AVAX can grow a lot more. I agree. Miyu says, good morning, Miyu. Good to see you. So this article comes courtesy of Benzinga. If you guys aren't following a journalist named Phil Hall is my favorite journalist that works for Benzinga. And he does great work. He actually had me on his podcast about a month and a half ago. We had a great time. We had a great talk. And you can look that up if you just Google Steven Steele Benzinga or Steven Steele Benzinga. It'll pop right up. Anyway, this article is called Dogecoin to break from key patterns after the crypto partners with Mr. Beast, Mark Rober, on open seas. Rober, R-O-B-E-R. You guys heard of this fella? It reminds me of the last name Mr. Roper. Those of you who've got a few years on you like myself, that name is going to ring familiar to you, whether it's through reruns or otherwise. Mr. Roper was the landlord on the seminal 1980s television show Three's Company, starring John Ritter and two babes that were his roommate. Now, back then, in the late 70s, early 80s, a man to be a roommate with two women was a very socially taboo thing to do. So in order to get permission from Mr. Roper, their landlord, to even have this sort of arrangement as renters, he had to convince Mr. Roper that he was gay. And so, his character's name was Jack, and Jack wasn't gay at all. In fact, Jack loved the ladies, and the ladies loved Jack. What's his last name in that show again? Jack Tripper. The ladies loved Jack Tripper. So he had to convince Mr. Roper, his landlord, that he was gay. So he had to act gay whenever Mr. Roper was around. It was actually, that show was very much of a bonding point with my father and I. We used to watch it together and have a lot of good laughs. My mother hated the show, I think, because of all the innuendo. It was an interesting show with interesting dynamics, because even though so much of the humor in Three's Company was based off of sexual innuendo, it was done in almost like a very wholesome, family-friendly way. Nick Paul's in the chat. Hey, I'm awake. Nick, if you want to come on, I'd love to have you on. Just pop in the Discord and we'll patch you through, my friend. So just let me know in the chat if you want to pop in. Okay? Let's see. So yeah, here we are, guys. Maybe you didn't tune in this Sunday morning to get an analytical breakdown of Three's Company, but that's what you get. MD Hewitt says Ball's already defeated three supervillains. Pretty much. So let me get back to this article here. YouTube personalities Mr. Beast and Mark Rober. Every dollar worth of Dogecoin donated to Team Seas will help remove 1 pound of trash from the world's oceans. And the collective fundraiser has already received over $70,000 in Dogecoin donations. Awesome. This is awesome. And I'm sure it's even been probably significantly more even since this was written about a day and a half ago. So guys, the Dogecoin community, awesome. Stepping up, showing up, making it happen for cleaning up the oceans through donations through Team Seas to the tune of over $70,000 worth of Dogecoin donations. This is awesome. This is what it's about. This is what the Dogecoin ethos is about. Yes, we all want to make money. Yes, we all are in this to increase our bottom lines and increase our financial freedom to greater, lesser degrees. But it's not only about that with Dogecoin. It's about treating other people with respect, treating other people well, trying to get along and be groovy with others and do the right thing and just step out and come together to do good things and to try to make the planet a little bit better of a place, Give me a few minutes to wake up and I'll be on. Okay, Nick, sounds good. Just let me know in the chat when you got the cobwebs shaken off, my friend. We'll patch you through. We'll patch you through. So my co-host Nick Balls will be coming on in a few minutes, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. Guys, if you're new here, you're watching Steven Steele, special Sunday morning edition of Steven Steele. Guess what? I'm Steven Steele. You're watching Steven Steele Live. Great to have you guys. Great to have you guys. If you haven't already, smash that like button. I want you to smash it. I want you to smash it. And I don't know where that I don't know who first started saying smash that like button, but I mean, I kind of like it. Maybe it's a little bit like played out, but I don't know. It still works. It sounds, what are you supposed to say? I want you to touch. I want you to touch that like button. It just doesn't have the same ring to it. Now you can say, hit that like button. That's all right. Hit that like. What do you guys prefer? Touch the like button, hit the like button, or smash that like button? Let me know in the chat below. Okay. Anyway, let's get back to the story here. In 2019, Mr. Beast Jimmy Donaldson and Rover began an initiative called Team Trees, which they raised over $23 million to help combat deforestation through the Arbor Day Foundation. The planting of over 23 million trees began in January of 2020, and the project is expected to be completed at the end of 2022. Dogecoin may be the perfect cryptocurrency to choose as a partner for fundraising efforts to better the planet, because the community rallies around the motto, do only good every day. Or actually, they just said in this article, do good every day. I like that better. I like do good every day. And I know it makes better sense for the acronym, do only good every day. That's such a tall order for anyone on this planet. How many of us can honestly say we do only good at every day at every moment we're awake, and nothing else? He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. So be good for goodness sake. Oh, you better not shout. You better not pout. You better not pout. You better not cry. You better not shout. I'm telling you why. Santa Doge is coming to town. I'm kind of looking forward to Christmas already. I know it's a little bit premature. I guess we should focus on Thanksgiving already, but who else loves Christmas here? I love the aesthetics. I know people like to lament. I know it's very popular to lament on Christmas music. I like Christmas music. Don't get me wrong. I'm not like smooth jazz Christmas. I like classic Christmas music. Anything from like Bing Crosby to Wham. I like it all. Let's see. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Confusion's what's going on in the chat. That's what's going on. Okay, let's get back to the story here. On Friday, Dogecoin was trading inside the bar pattern for the daily chart. With all the price action within Thursday's trading range, the inside bar indicates that crypto is on a period of consolidation due to increasingly lower trading volume. Traders can watch for the break of the inside bar pattern if it happens on high volume to gauge Dogecoin's next direction. Dogecoin is also trading in a descending triangle pattern, which began on October 30th and has been pushing the crypto down while holding above the horizontal trend line at the 25.5 mark. Dogecoin will meet the apex of the triangle on November 9th, and traders can watch for Dogecoin to break up or down from the pattern on high or low volume to take position. I agree with that. 9th is going to be the day that we're either going to see Dogecoin make some significant movement up or down as we approach the apex of that triangle. That's definitely something I want to talk more about with Nick when he comes on here and get his feedback on it. Let's go to the next story here. Next story, folks. This is kind of a funny one. Also coming in from Benzinga, Dogecoin co-founder looks to clear the air. I have nothing to do with Shiba Inu coin, despite Twitter name being Shiba Toshi. I mean, I keep a pretty close eye on Billy Marcus's Twitter, but I didn't even know he tweeted this out. So I guess I haven't been watching it as closely as I normally do. But I just think it's funny that he even had to clarify this. It's, to me, the creator of Dogecoin, not being directly affiliated with Shiba Inu token seems to be a quite a rather obvious fact, but apparently it wasn't obvious to some. Marcus took to Twitter to say that he has no connection with the project behind the Shiba Inu token, which calls itself the Dogecoin Killer. He added that while he created Dogecoin 8 years ago, he is no longer working on the meme cryptocurrencies project either. Dogecoin, created in 2013, is themed after a Shiba Inu breed of hunting dogs from Japan. The followers have often described themselves as Sheebs over the years. In August of last year, the Shiba Inu coin was launched by pseudonymous, that word always screws me up, a pseudonymous person named Roishi. And this was Billy Marcus's tweet exactly. By the way, I have nothing to do with the Sheeb project. I made Dogecoin 8 years ago and barely have anything to do with Dogecoin. I removed the contact form from my website as I was getting spammed with people from Sheeb community screaming at me about their token. Don't do that. Billy Marcus is like the he's like a really endearing, he's like endearingly grumpy. Do you know what I mean? Like, I mean that like in the best way possible, where he's just like, I've had it. I've had it with you kids. I've had you kids just sipping his coffee on his patio, looking at all of us on Twitter going, Marcus was responding to the comments from supporters of Shiba Inu, some who engaged in a war of worlds with the Dogecoin co-creator. After Shiba Inu's market capitalization surpassed that of Dogecoin last week, Marcus had earlier suggested that in a tweet that get-rich-quick people would bail when a new hype appeared, apparently referring to the recent surge in Shiba Inu's price. So, yeah, I just think it's funny that actually was made into an article. It's just, the fact that it's an article is amusing to me, let's see here. I think Nick's ready to go here. Nick, can you hear me?
Yeah. Well, hold on.
All right. Yeah, we got Nick coming on here, and my Doge is barking at another Doge out the window.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Remy.
Cool.
Remy, calm your teats. Okay?
I'm going to be audio only today as I just woke up and look like a hot pile of garbage.
Okay. Hot pile of garbage. Welcome. What's going on?
Oh, nothing much. Just had an interesting day yesterday. Yeah.
Okay. And what made your day yesterday so interesting?
A buddy of mine passed away.
Yes. I remember hearing about that. Yeah, very sorry to hear about that. And that was a friend of yours in the fitness training scene, yeah?
Yeah. I wasn't like we weren't like best friends or anything, but I had talked to him on more than several occasions, and I was actually good friends with his former coach, and he actually a guy that I have worked with in bodybuilding, but also recently a really, really good friend of mine who got into crypto, and now he runs his own crypto company out in Vegas.
Okay.
He was one of this guy's training partners. So I ended up talking to my friend about him like last night until like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Gotcha. I want to get back to that, but right after this, got a massive super chat this morning. Awesome. Thank you so much from Nostalgic J. Nostalgic J, great to see you back in the mix, my friend. And thank you so much for that generous super chat of $69. Make you holler. I love it. Thank you, Nostalgic J. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for supporting the Dogecoin community. Thank you for supporting this channel. It's hugely appreciated. It's honestly stuff like that even allows me to spend as much time on this stuff as I do or else I wouldn't be able to do it. So, Nostalgic Jay, thank you so much, man. He says, good morning, passing on the good vibes. Yes, sir, good morning to you, and so glad that you're with us this morning. And every one of you guys, it's so great to have you guys on this morning. It's just kind of a different vibe, so it's nice to kind of work in some of these morning shows here and there. What do you say, Nick?
Oh, you know me. I think I think morning shows are a great idea.
Yeah. So, how long did you go back with this friend of yours that passed on?
Geez, the last time I saw him in real life was maybe 5 or 6 years ago, out in Gold's Venice, out in California.
Okay, gotcha.
It was right before he won. He won the Mr. Olympia in 2018, so it was probably a year or two before that.
Wow. And was this unexpected?
Oh my God, completely, totally unexpected. This guy was known for, like, being... bodybuilding is not healthy. But this guy was known for, like, being meticulous about his blood work. He would always get every test done. He was very meticulous about what he did. However, right after he won the Mr. Olympia, he got accused of assault on a female, and he was banned from competing in the Mr. Olympia. And that court case is still unresolved. It's been 3 years, and they still have not done anything with it. And they actually just yesterday, 2 days ago now, they approved him to compete in the Mr. Olympia next year.
Oh, just 2 days? Just right before he passed?
Yeah.
My goodness.
So, yeah, really unfortunate. And I'm kind of really shaken up about the whole thing, because this is not... this is like the third person I've known this year that's passed away in bodybuilding.
Just in bodybuilding, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, really sorry to hear that, Nick. That's wild. I mean, it's just when our own mortality really just kind of makes itself really obvious to us at times. You know, I just had just the sweetest girl I graduated from high school with. I just learned that she passed a couple days ago, and she was a total sweetheart. She's a great mother and a great person. Always just so warm, just a total 100% sweetheart. And she passed unexpectedly following a gallbladder removal, which should be just typical rudimentary stuff. She's leaving some kids behind and a husband that's had been with her since high school. This is just how it goes, right?
How old was she?
She's around my age. So she was Gen X, and she graduated with me, and obviously that was really unexpected as well. And it's just a reminder. Every day we wake up and we're still ticking, to be grateful, be thankful. I find myself doing that, especially if things aren't going well for you in one way or another. Sometimes you just gotta be thankful you're still alive. Marcus, my German friend, coming up with a €10 super chat. Thank you for that, Marcus. Appreciate you, man. Hello from Germany. Keep pumping, Nick. Keep on chilling, Steven. Great to hear you both. Stay tuned. Have a great Sunday. Sir, I salute you from across the pond. Thank you, my German friend, Marcus, another fitness enthusiast. Marcus puts some serious time in the gym.
Yeah, he's really into, like, karate, and he's invented some cool stuff for the karate industry. So very cool.
Yeah, totally. So what do you think, Nick? We're hanging out here looking at an Ethereum chart, trading, fairly comfortably over $4,600. Dogecoin trading a little bit less remarkably right now. Pretty much the same it's been lately, a little bit over 26 cents. There have been some predictions, however, that a breakout is coming pretty soon. There's a triangle that's been forming that looks like it's going to reach its apex on the 9th. Have you seen this?
I had, my original breakout date was technically yesterday.
Yeah.
Or, I'm sorry, Friday.
Okay.
in the breakout that I was predicting had already occurred, so we're already outside of the triangle that I was looking at. I would have to redo the drawings to see what the ninth looks like, but yeah, it's possible. I'd have to take a look.
Yeah. So I think from what I'm seeing on the 9th, it's going to go one way. I think we're going to see some significant movement in either direction. But
True.
from what I'm looking at, the 9th is the day that that's going to come to a head there, or we're gonna see something go down. I don't know. I talked about this before you're on the air here. Have you made heads or tails of what's going on with Elon and 10% of his Tesla stock?
Oh my God, I can't believe. I mean, it seems crazy, right, that he would leave it up to Twitter. I forgot the number. Did anybody figure it out? I think it's like $3 or $4 billion.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It will definitely affect the value of Tesla.
Yeah. Here's my thing, Nick. I was looking into this last night. I'm more leaning that I don't think this is going to significantly damage the market value of Tesla for the long term. I actually think that a lot of people have been waiting for an opportunity to buy in a good position with Tesla that just hasn't been there because it's been so consistently bullish for so long, that this is going to provide that opportunity. I think a lot of people have been kind of waiting around for. So I think, just to put it more bluntly, I think a lot of people will be buying that dip. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people right now, especially people who are new to investing in crypto in general, are being sold, the narrative, at least through YouTube or wherever else, that, the whole market is about to just absolutely go crazy. So people, I think, are looking for whatever opportunities present themselves, and if there is a little bit of a dip here in the next several weeks, I think people will take advantage of it. I was watching a CoinsKid video that showed a correlation between a dip that occurred in, I believe it was 2017, on Bitcoin in November. Bitcoin went down just a little bit in 2017. That was right before it just absolutely went on like a parabolic, multi-month uptrend. So we could see something like that. If it occurs in Bitcoin, it'll occur in the rest of the market.
Yeah, I would concur with that. I shared with the audience before you came on. I don't think this. Many times we see the anticipation of event actually even take a more severe impact on the market value of a stock or a crypto than the actual event itself. I think we could very well be possible looking at a scenario like that with Tesla stock, where the sheer anticipation of Elon selling off 10% of his Tesla portfolio will actually have a more significant impact on the state of Tesla stock than the actual act itself. What do you think?
Oh yeah, I mean, the buy the rumors, sell the news is that's in full effect. But with Tesla being where it is at now, and where Elon's net worth being at where it is at now,
yeah,
he's got the eyes of the world on him, and I think people are just waiting to see what move is next. I saw a few people that were trying to dig into the code on Tesla to figure out if they're accepting Dogecoin. I saw a little breakdown of that. I don't know if it's real or not. I don't know if what they found out was legit or not. But I remember when I first saw it, the Shiba Inu people were claiming it as their own.
Not a chance. Not a chance. Not a chance. No way. Guys, by the way, I made a new Twitter, so it's a backup account. I'm going to start phasing out my current Twitter that I've built up, and I'm just starting fresh. So Give me a follow over at the new Twitter. I'm going to put the link to my new Twitter in the chat a couple times. So if you guys are on Twitter, give me a follow over there, because that's where the real action is going to be from now on. So I'm phasing over, fresh start, new profile on Twitter, and I just want to make sure I'm connected with all you guys. If you don't already follow me there, that link is in the chat. So Sunday morning, bright and sunny in the Midwest here for us, Nick. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's nice out today too. I think it's going to be like 60.
Yeah, it's very comfortable. Got the windows open over here. Nice breeze coming in. Just feeling groovy with some fresh air. Now,
dude,
go ahead.
My condo building it's all concrete. The whole building's concrete, and in the wintertime it gets so dry, so incredibly dry. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, like my throat and my nose, like everything is so dry. And I ordered a humidifier because I woke up the other day with just the biggest nosebleed. So I've got a humidifier coming, but hopefully it'll be here tomorrow.
No, nice. I've got some new trainers coming in the mail tomorrow. I'm trying to think of the brand name on them, but they're like really high quality sneakers. And I ordered them in all black, like a sleek all black trainer style. But you can just step into them without having to tie them, and I
love that.
You know what I'm talking about, and they fit really snug on you too. So I just love the idea of having a pair of like trainers to run and walk in that I can just go whoop. So those are coming in the mail tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Still no what hasn't come in the mail yet is my computer desk. It's on back order. It's supposed to be, I think it's supposed to be here on the 10th or the 11th. So hopefully we're just a few days away.
I can't wait for your setup to get done.
I know, because I'm also getting a boom mic. So when I talk, it will be more professional sounding, like right up here like this, you guys. And then I'm getting a new rig, and I'm getting things in increments according to what I can afford. But things are starting to get on track. And I'm looking forward to it too. I know my butt and my back are particularly looking forward to it. So, indeed. I don't know if you had a chance to follow what's happening with Avalanche. Both Avalanche and Solana, which are arguably Ethereum's greatest competitors, are absolutely soaring right now. This really comes as no surprise, does it, Nick? Because Ethereum's gas prices have also been soaring. I joked out on Twitter. Joe was joking around on Twitter yesterday on my new Twitter account, guys. Make sure you follow me on my new Twitter account. I said, the good news is Ethereum's easily going to 10K. The bad news is so are the gas fees. So here we have both Solana and Avalanche just absolutely thriving in the midst of Ethereum's shortcomings. This is something we well saw on the wall, isn't it, Nick?
Oh yeah. I mean, this is one of Ethereum's greatest problems.
Yeah.
Is gas fees are directly correlated to how well the coin is doing.
I know, it's such a dichotomy, right? Like, the better the coin does, the higher the fees are for to actually use it. It's like, man, So obviously this needs to get hammered out, man. Like between the Doge Ethereum bridge and Ethereum 2.0, I mean, between these two things, I would imagine that Ethereum gas fees are going to be lowered significantly, much to the chagrin of Ethereum miners. But hey, they've had a pretty good run. Now it needs to come down to be more accessible. I mean, every single stinking transaction on Ethereum, you're just getting hammered with gas fees. Whether you're transferring Ethereum from a wallet to an exchange, or buying an NFT, or you're exchanging it for something else, just gas. It's like, oh my gosh. And it's like every day somebody's telling me about a new ERC20. Oh, bro, I think this is going to pop in a few days. I'm like, I'm not even interested, because it's going to cost just as much for me to buy it it's going to cost like $150 for gas for me to buy $150 worth. Like, I'm good. You keep doing that in all different directions, you're going to wind up with no Ethereum. Rock Lobster coming in with, not with a super chat, just coming in the chat. I just wanted to acknowledge you. Good to see you, Rock Lobster, up in the mix. Yeah, this is pretty predictable. Both of these things, Nick, are supposed to be coming in the first quarter of 2022. My concern is if it doesn't happen in the first quarter of 2022, do you think this could ever get to a point where Ethereum seriously keeps fumbling here, and competitors like AVAX and Solana will take up even a larger chunk of the space than anticipated?
Yeah, I mean, I think that Ethereum is definitely leaving a gaping hole in the market to be overtaken by one of these competitors. And, people are always wondering, like, why? But Ethereum's at all-time highs. It's doing great.
Yeah.
Well, keep in mind that people, or I should say, whales basically are going to ride that wave up to the absolute top, and then they're going to cash out and move into whatever they see as the next thing that they can do the same exact thing with again. I'm not saying I don't think Ethereum's going anywhere, but it's certainly right now, even though the price is at near all-time highs, I think it's struggling under its own weight, and that if that continues, that will be an issue. People always say, like, oh, Ethereum's going to 10,000. Imagine if Ethereum was 10,000 right now. Like, the NFT market, wouldn't exist, basically. So,
yeah.
2.0 is absolutely necessary for Ethereum to continue to do well. And I believe it'll be, it won't be too much longer before that happens.
Yeah, I agree with you. I would think so, because remember Ethereum 2.0, Nick, remember when it was supposed to happen like 8 months ago?
Oh, the 2.0's been slated for release for like 2 years.
Oh my gosh. I mean, they're just going to have to get it under control here, because eventually if they don't, I think that it could get to a point. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't think anything's knocking Ethereum out of its number 2 spot. I don't see that happening. But what I do see happening is a future, and not so distant future, where Solana starts occupying that top 6, where all of a sudden we're looking at our top 7 cryptos, and both AVAX and Solana are two of those top 7. I could see this happening if this keeps dragging out.
Don't forget about Cardano.
And Cardano, respectively. Though our Cardano, I actually want to get your thoughts on Cardano. I have to read this from Marcus. Member for 6 months now. There's a VIP. Awesome, Marcus. Thank you so much for your support over the last 6 months and being with us. And just a tremendous supporter of the Dogecoin community and of Steven Steele Live. Hugely appreciated, Marcus. You are awesome, my friend. He says, Steven, can you just tell why you have a new Twitter account? Do we have to stop following the old one? The old one is on the follow list already. Mission accomplished. Yeah, I don't want to go too much into it, but just to put in briefly, the reason why I created a new Twitter account is because the previous one appears to have been shadow banned for one reason or another. So my engagement rate has been severely throttled, and every day I kept getting messages from people saying that they were automatically unfollowed from my Twitter account. This has happened to hundreds and hundreds of people, maybe even over 1,000 at this point, frankly, of people that this has happened to. So what happened is every time I would get new followers on Twitter, Twitter would automatically have other people unfollow them. So consequentially, no matter how much time went on, I was always running in place, and I was unable to expand my audience, unable to achieve more followers, because essentially it was the system got rigged against me. So rather than deal with that for the rest of my life, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to rip the Band-Aid off. It's not easy. going from nearly 15,000 subscribers back down to 0, but at least I'm doing it on my own terms. And I'd rather, folks, I'd rather have less followers and not be throttled and be able to, just not have that feeling of having restrictions on me. Is worth it to me. So I'd rather have less people following me with more engagement and being on the fair playing field that everyone else is, rather than not.
My Twitter is growing like gangbusters recently.
Yeah, mine hasn't. Mine was, and then literally overnight, I went from getting on average about 150 followers a day to zero a day for months, and that's statistically impossible. Okay, and then I also noticed my engagement was cut by about 60 or 70%, and it happened like this, you guys, like overnight, like instantly, like a switch got put on me, and all of a sudden it was like, boom, molasses, right? So I was like, you know what? Go ahead.
I had to last night. One of our former listeners, I'm not going to name the name, but one of our former listeners, I think they're going through some interesting stuff in their life or whatever.
Okay.
But they were posting some crazy nonsense on one of my posts last night. So I've been blocking people on Twitter.
Yeah.
Who are going on my posts like talking craziness. I don't know. I think you're absolutely right. Twitter, for me at least, is about quality and not quantity. I'd rather talk to everybody in the chat that is super cool and chill and laid back than have a bazillion people who are schizophrenic.
Yeah, I understand. Sliding Edge coming with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Sliding Edge. Appreciate you, man. Better not try that poop with me. Invest more into DWAC. All right, and that is, of course,
you know about DWAC?
Yeah, that is the stock of the former president's new social network. Basically, his version of Twitter that he's launching in the pretty near future here.
Yeah, you know who got in on DWAC real early?
I know Scott Herforth did here in our community, but is that where you're going to reference?
No, Teddy Zane.
No way.
Yeah, he was one of the original DWAC guys. He got on the IPO like day one.
Wow. Yeah, okay. I did watch a Teddy Zane video where he was really amped about it.
Yeah, he was going off about DWAC.
Yeah. Sound Gods, yes, I do have a new Twitter, and it's going to be a long road to get where I'm back, but hopefully not as long as it took me to initially get there. But again, I'd rather have the freedom of knowing I'm not being throttled with way less followers than to deal with that mess every stinking day, knowing no matter how much great content you put out, no matter how hard I work, that I'll just always be running in place. It's just not a good feeling, Nick. It's not a good feeling.
I mean, you're making part of your living off of social media,
right?
And to do that, you gotta have the ability to have followers and whatnot. And that is why I'm so grateful for the fact that I don't care who follows me or not.
Well, when you made a few $1 million off of Dogecoin, Nick, you tend to have that perspective a bit more. Let's see what's going on in the chat. I think it's going to be called Truth Social or something. What do you think, Nick? You're going to make a Truth account?
They should call it Not Fake News, Steven.
Not fake news.
Not fake news. It is not. No, I might. You know what? I had
unbelievable. This social media. Good.
It's not ran by China. It's not ran by China.
I can't impersonate without blowing out my throat. Go ahead.
Yeah. I had, what was the one website that got shut down that it was kind of doing a similar thing. it was like a social media platform, but for like for people, it was like a free speech platform, but it got shut down. I can't remember the name of it.
Parler.
Yes, there we go. I had an account there that didn't do anything at all. I'm not, you know, what's funny? I'm really not a big political guy at all.
Yeah.
But I do like the idea and the concept of, you know, having a open free speech platform that isn't just, you know, blocking people left and right because they want to talk about crypto or whatever.
Right.
So I think that's an idea. Actually, one of our fans, one of our subscribers, reached out to me, and he's encoding a Dogecoin social media network platform for a phone right now. It's an app that he's making that you can actually tip people on the app with Dogecoin. And I haven't done anything with this yet, but this might be one of my next big investments, like outside of crypto.
Wow. You'll have to share more information with me about that, because I'd be interested in looking into that more, and maybe even have who knows, maybe we can even get the developer on the show.
Yeah, he's a cool dude.
Yeah. I guess I did know that Parler got back up. I know for a while they banned it from the Google Play Store. They banned it from the Apple Store. I think it might be available on one of those or both of those now. That an election's over and they feel more comfortable having it back. It's just, I'm just gonna not get started on that. But so anyway, I think that what do you make now? What's so funny, Nick, is I remember having this conversation with you about 2 weeks ago, live on the air. Remember when we were talking about this very thing, what's happening with Ethereum right now, where we said, I think as a consequence of these gas fees being so astronomical and not being able to be reined in for a significant period of time, we are going to see a bull run of just Ethereum, with or without Bitcoin preceding it, with or without Dogecoin, with or without Bitcoin. And here we are at Ethereum trading comfortably over 4,600, while the rest of the market isn't looking all that remarkable, with the exception of some more fringe DeFi stuff, and then also Ethereum's competitors. What do you say?
Yeah.
I mean, it's so funny because I remember literally talking about that this was going to happen with you about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it, clearly, this is, the market wants what the market wants, and Ethereum is continuing to push all-time highs, which is good news for the overall altcoin market, right? Ethereum is the leader of the alts, and if it's continuing to do well despite the fact that its major use case is being completely stomped out right now just by its own weight, I think that that's a huge signal to the rest of the altcoin market that, hey, look, even though NFTs and minting and all this stuff is extremely expensive right now and not very cost effective, it's still continuing to do well, and that money that eventually might be siphoned out of Ethereum, it will certainly flow into the rest of the altcoin market as time progresses. I think over the next 3 to 4 months we're going to see a massive altcoin market pop. And of course, I'm biased towards Doge, but there's so many events that are right before our eyes are stacking up in favor of Dogecoin. It shocks me every day. We've been trading sideways, which is the story of Dogecoin, but I just cannot wait for whatever this massive move to the upside is going to do.
Yeah. You and me both, and I'm sure the audience largely as well. Now, for those that just may not know, Nick, if you could maybe break down, extrapolate a little bit on that point you just made, what are some of these things that you're excited about as far as the moves being made for Dogecoin?
Well, I guess we'll start with like the most obvious. The wallets for Robinhood are not only they're in they're being worked on right now, but people are testing them right now. They're in beta right now. There's people that have been offered the ability to use their wallets. On top of that, we've seen the whale wallet that people can, it's 30% of the Dogecoin supply. Well, now it's been diluted to 23% of the overall supply because they're starting to integrate the wallet system and they're starting to give people their coins. So that's just step one. Step two occurred just yesterday. Elon is going to be, apparently, if Twitter makes the claim, Elon's selling 10% of his Tesla stock. That'll give him access to billions of dollars of capital. And I think that, a lot of people are, of course, well, he's going to buy Dogecoin with some of that. He's going to buy Dogecoin. I don't know if he would do that personally because that, Dogecoin for Tesla is something that is going to occur for the company and not for himself personally, although he might buy some Dogecoin for himself. I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility, but you never know. But what I will say is that Dogecoin or Robinhood coming out with Dogecoin wallets is the precursor to Tesla being allowed to accept Dogecoin on their platform. Now, just within the past few weeks, Tesla has gone to the SEC, filed a statement saying, hey, look, we're getting ready to accept crypto again. They didn't say which crypto, but we know they already accept Bitcoin. Yeah. They have requested that the SEC be prepared for the fact that they are going to be accepting crypto again. And I believe that these events are all culminating to the fact that Tesla will be accepting Dogecoin again. Now, even if they don't within a short period of time, we still have AMC. AMC is coming out Q1, start of next year, already confirmed that they will be accepting Dogecoin. So we have a confirmed company, and then we have the most anticipated announcement of all time, which is Tesla for Dogecoin. And I think that these factors, among others, are just huge stepping stones to Dogecoin absolutely exploding. And people who are speculating in the market right now that things are going to tank and all this stuff. We have the infrastructure bill, of course, that comes out on Monday that could redefine how we look at crypto. Keep in mind that's for DeFi projects. I don't think it'll necessarily directly affect Bitcoin or Dogecoin, but it could, in terms affect DeFi projects. But I don't think it'll be a huge nail in the coffin to crypto at all. I don't think it'll affect the market at all. No. But yeah, these are just a few things that I think are, stacking up to Dogecoin really taking off, and it could be soon or it could be, later on next year. I think if at the latest we're looking at, mid to end of Q1 next year.
I agree. Thank you for summing all that up. I think that was really awesomely stated, frankly. Guys, I am right now, I realize I didn't tell you guys about this yet. I am holding a Twitter contest. I'm going to put a link for that contest in the chat. And now listen, the Twitter contest is this. I'm going to be giving out $50 in Dogecoin to 5 different individuals in 6 days from today. Now, to enter, all you have to do is retweet, and follow my new profile. And I'm going to link you to the tweet of that contest, how you can participate in it in the chat right now. So all you have to do is like that status, retweet that status, and make sure you follow me on my new profile. And that is how you enter that. So again, there will be 5 wieners, okay? And I'm going to be giving away $50 in Dogecoin to 5 different individuals on this next Monday. So that's how, if you want to be a part of that, if you want to enter that, that's how you would do it. So, we're coming into Monday. It seems to me that if Elon's going to sell off 10% of his Tesla stock, I believe that he is going to. I don't think he's going to do it when the market opens tomorrow. I think he's going to wait for that dust to at least settle somewhat and probably make a move like that on Tuesday would be the highest probability as far as I can see it. And if you've been sitting on the fence waiting for a good position, buy-in time for window of opportunity for Tesla. Guys, I think this is probably it coming up. So what do you say, Nick?
Yeah, I mean, it could be. I'm like the last person to ask about stock stuff. I don't do anything. I own stocks, but I don't do anything with my stocks. It could, the sale of his position in Tesla, the 10% could tank the stock, or transversely, it could cause it to completely soar, and people could see that as a buying opportunity. I don't know. Like I said, I am the last person to ask about stock stuff. I will say, though, it appears to me that Elon personally and Tesla as a company are getting ready to do something big.
Yes,
and we all know when Tesla decides to do something big, the market, the world follows, and the proof is in the pudding. Tesla and Elon Musk is the most wealthy individual in the world, and it's not by a little bit; it's by a lot.
By a lot, yeah. I agree with you. I think we're on the precipice of something absolutely major about to happen. Now, Nick, I want to get your thoughts on this. What do you think about the idea of Elon selling off 10% of his Tesla stock and perhaps reallocating a decent chunk of that into Dogecoin? Do you think that's a possibility?
That's what I've been reading a lot on Twitter. I think that's the hopes and dreams of many of the Doge army.
Yeah.
What's the value? I remember seeing the figure. I'm trying to find it right now. What would be the value of that 10%?
Oh,
does anyone know in the chat?
I'd have to do the math real quick and look at the total market
I'm gonna
value
look
of
at
Tesla right now.
I'm pulling. Yeah, I mean it's about $1,200. I'm looking at the. I'm trying to find an article that sums it up, like what the total value of that is. If anybody in the chat knows the number, it's in the billions. I want to say it's like 2 or 4 billion. I can't remember. But if anybody in the chat has the figure on what 10% of his holdings would be if he sold right now at roughly $1,200, I want to say it's between 2 and 4 billion. I saw I think Little Lauren put the number on it last night.
I mean, heck,
pretty sure.
Even if he put 1 billion of that into Doge,
Yeah, I mean, well, if if he came out, I don't even think it would have to be $1 billion. I think it could be a few hundred million, or even just 100 million. If he came out and said that he was going to do that, oh my god!
Oh my gosh! Good night. Yeah. I think we'd be in for some marathon streams at that point, Nick.
Oh my, I'd be ready. Okay, 2.6 billion is what we're seeing here.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true or not. We're just asking the chat, but I saw somebody I think it was Lauren, she did the math on it. But yeah, even if you put a fraction of that into Dogecoin and made that public, which he wouldn't be required to do.
Right.
He could do that. It wouldn't have to disclose it. That's that's his personal money. He made a comment the other day, which I loved. He said that he doesn't take a salary, he doesn't accept bonuses for the company. He's only paid in stock, which means he is relying on Tesla, SpaceX, and the Boring Company and all of his other companies to do well, which means he in fact is relying on the workers of the company to do well. He wants the people that work for him to make as much money as they possibly can and raise the value of the company. He's only getting paid by how well his company does, and that is very, very admirable. I think a lot of CEOs could take a note from this. It's not only good for him personally, because by doing this he avoids taxes. Of course, he's not, because he's not selling the stocks, unrealized gains. but he's also increasing the value of his company, which is it's just a win-win-win situation for everybody.
I agree. Hands down. Manju S asks, "Hi, sir, from India. I don't know about Doge and still believe Elon and invested in it. What do you say to me?" Sir, what I say to you is selling your Doge before Tesla accepts it makes about as much sense as selling your Tiger King coin before Tiger King 2 Season 2 comes out. That's what I think. You just got to be patient. You got to be patient. Just understand that there's major moves that have been being made and worked on behind the scenes to set the table for Dogecoin to ascend to levels of success that I don't think any of us here are really quite wrapping our heads around to the potential.
Here we go.
Good.
According to the SEC filing amount, 22.4% of its stock, 10% of his stake would be worth roughly $27.8 billion.
Oh, wow.
So way more than I thought. I thought it was $2 billion. So 27.8. Is that poll still open? I'm going to check right now.
I believe it is.
I said no that he shouldn't do it, but
yeah,
I'm sure a lot.
It's not like a landslide. It's about 57, 40, 43 last time I checked. Yeah.
Got 3 hours and about 3 or 4 hours left on it.
I think it's hilarious. They just asked Twitter, "Yeah, what do you guys think?" What do you guys think? 21 billion?
27 billion.
Oh, 27 billion, yeah.
It's 27.5 billion. Not a small amount of money.
No.
By any means.
By any means.
I don't know how, of course, if he just sold that right away,
yeah.
I think immediately that would directly affect the price of Tesla. There's no way.
There's no way it could.
There's no way. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I would be interested, what, so he doesn't own any, he doesn't really have any homes right now. He's not, buying anything. Why would he do that? And what would he take that money to do? What would he do with all that cash?
I don't know, man. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. That's why it's why wouldn't he at least put, at least a portion of that in a Dogecoin, knowing what's coming, right? I mean, to me, it seems like that could happen. Now, I'm not saying that he's going to put 21 billion in, but I don't think it's outside the realm of possibility for, at the very least, for him to put in a couple million into Doge, at the very least. I think
he personally holds Ethereum and Bitcoin. He owns Dogecoin, but it's only from what he's accumulated via mining, which is probably peanuts. It's really nothing.
Right.
If he really did, and that also begs the question. Okay, so if he sells his stock to, to the tune of about $27 billion. He puts, let's just say, a portion of that, right, into Dogecoin. Is that opening him up for any, any regulatory concerns from the SEC? Because now he has a vested interest in Dogecoin doing well personally. Before it was just for his company. Now it's personally he would own Dogecoin himself. I don't know what the legal ramifications of that are. I'm sure that he's got people, figuring that out for him. But, I guess it remains to be seen. Yeah.
So what do you make of the probability that we're still in for the big God pump in the near future here, Nick?
It hasn't happened yet.
No, it hasn't.
We have seen God pumps occur this year.
Yeah.
And what are we sitting at right now? Number 9 with a $35 billion market cap.
Yeah.
comfortably above Shiba Inu, by the way. Yeah, I mean, I could. I think it's going to happen. I don't know if it'll happen within the year or if it'll happen early next year, but I do believe that the God Pump is out there, like they always said on the X-Files.
It's out there somewhere. Were you ever a fan of the X-Files?
Oh my God, when I was a little kid. It's funny, I talked to my mom about this. We used to have these neighbors. I lived in a tiny, or actually it was a bigger suburb when I was growing up, not where I currently live. And we had these neighbors upstairs, and there was a really cool dude. This was back in like the early 90s. And this guy, he had, those giant gauge earrings where you stretch your ears out? Yeah. He had those. He was our neighbor. Super cool dude. He had his girlfriend living with him, and they lived above us. And I was a little kid, I was probably like 9 or 10 at the time, and he would invite me to come watch the X-Files with him and his girlfriend. Super cool dude. He had those giant stretched out ears at a time when nobody else did that, and his apartment was like just packed with like old Star Wars toys from the 70s.
Yeah.
And he was just like the coolest dude, and we would watch I'd go up there and watch the X-Files with him and his girlfriend. It was neat.
That's awesome. Do you recall what one of your favorite X-Files episodes was?
Yes. My favorite X-Files episodes was like this. There was like inbred family.
I remember that one. Yeah.
Yeah, they kept the mom in the wall. Oh, dude, that thing gave me nightmares. I love that one.
Yeah, that one was truly disturbing. Yeah, I remember back in the day that was the quintessential show. In fact, I remember going on arranging a double date with a friend of mine that I met in the apartment building I lived in at the time, and we got together. These two girls, they invited us over to their apartment for dinner and X-Files. So
cool.
We went over and had a nice dinner, and then we watched X-Files. It was like just like so simple and wholesome, and we're old enough to remember when people actually had like planned dates around like a TV show that wasn't streamed. It was like, this is the time it comes on once a week, and we're gonna plan around that.
You had to check the TV guide back then.
There's something, the TV. There's something both wildly inconvenient and kind of cool about it at the same time.
You remember a movie phone?
Oh yes, I do remember movie phone. Yes. Oh, movie phone. That's right. Oh my gosh. Slide Ned says, remember fans came out with a David Duchovny song? David Duchovny, Why Won't You Love Me? No, I don't know why I don't remember that, but now I know what I'm going to look up on YouTube when I'm not streaming. I know that David Duchovny, I think he got his start in the adult industry. Did you know about this?
No, I didn't, but that would make sense because he is a well-known sex addict in Hollywood.
Is he really?
So much so they even made a show about it called Californication.
Oh, Californication. I really liked that show, actually. Yeah,
it was a great show. I liked it too.
Especially when they had what was that '80s rock star that always came in? Rick Springfield. They'd always have Rick Springfield come in for Californication. I remember binge watching that about 5 years ago, and all in one go for like a week, and really enjoying it.
The voice of Bobby Hill from King of the Hill was in there too.
Bobby? Really?
That I forgot the character's name, but you remember David Duchovny's best friend is that bald guy?
Oh yeah.
That bald Jewish guy. Yeah, his
that's
wife.
The voice?
No, his wife. I can't remember her name, but his wife is the voice of Bobby Hill.
His wife is the voice of Bobby Hill. Wow. Okay. So I've always liked King of the Hill. I think King of the Hill is kind of like, I know everyone loves Beavis and Butthead, of course, but I thought King of the Hill was always pretty underrated. I liked it for
Pamela Adlon is her
Pamela
name.
Adlon. Okay. Yeah, I'm a big King of the Hill fan. I've always liked the pace of that show and the humor. Well, Nick, my butt is getting sore, so I'm going to start winding this one down, but I'm glad you rolled out of bed and joined us this morning. It definitely kind of added an extra dynamic here that's appreciated.
Yeah, dude. I'm gonna go have my my oatmeal, and I got the lady coming over today. We're gonna watch some movies or some TV shows, and yeah.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Well, guys, also, before I let you guys go, one of my members only picks, okay, poker, those of you who took my tip on that, make sure you look at your wallets. It's absolutely going gangbusters today. So make sure to check that out. And by the way, I'm going to have another members only tonight at the latest, if not tomorrow, to follow up on the investments that we talk about in there, where things are going, where I'm going from there, and some new projects with potentials that I've had my eye on for you. And I've got to say, the track record with the members only picks right now has been extraordinary. So if you're interested in becoming a member and you're not already a member, my membership is cheaper than anybody else's on the YouTubes. It's just $4 a month, starting at just $4 a month. It's $1 a week. You get tons of value for it, tons of helpful and fun inside information, lots of members only streams. Plus you get the cool little badges you see in the chat there. And then also the emojis. Speaking of which, Nick, one of the things I'm going to do today, I need to get a very clear high-res picture from you, like a bodybuilding one, because I need to make a Nick emoji, and I want to do that today.
Okay, I've got files of the original raw shots from.
Yeah, send me something. Send me something high-res with the guns, and I got to make a Nick Balls emoji.
Cool.
Very good. Nick, this was awesome. Audience, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you got something out of it. Hope you guys had fun. Maybe back tonight, not sure yet, but that's why you want to keep an eye on your notifications. Make sure your notifications are set on all so you know the next time we go on the air. Again, guys, thanks for joining us this morning. Hope you guys have a great day. This is Steven Steele and Nick Balls signing out. Take care, everyone.
Later, y'all.
Just the bees and birds, the summer hay.